Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of More Than Just Task Management. My name is Anna Angelova. I am a business consultant and coach. I'm a co host of this podcast. And as usual, I have Joris Minasvand with me, my loyal co host and business consultant like me. So, good morning, Joris. How are
Good
you doing
morning,
today?
Anna. I'm doing very well. Good morning, everyone. Again, another nice day. Almost wrapping our week, and I think we've had quite a success this week with our short stints on focusing on one item. I think this is a much better, formula, much better pattern for our podcast. So today we're gonna talk about.
What to do when a team member is not performing. This is what we want to talk about today. And this week we have been discussing team performance, right? Because as a business owner, like, you have a team and there are other people, and it's not just your performance for achieving your goals, it's also how your team shows up. So what do you do when someone is not performing well? How do you how do you handle this kind of situation? And first and foremost, like, it's really important actually uh, to have the proper system where, like, whether it's a scorecard, whatever you want to call this, where, like, people actually know what performing well means. They know what the expectations are, right? And when you have this, it's so much easier to know that, oh, someone is not performing as expected, something is going on. Otherwise, it's just a bit of a, oh, I don't, like, just a bit of an impression, right? So, first and foremost, like, this is one important thing, but let's assume you do have this in place. So, what do you do when someone is not performing? And the way I start think is with a conversation, like an open one-on-one conversation with the person to understand what's going on, to see what's the reason behind the drop in
Non
performance, the lack in
non-performance. Yeah.
performance. Yeah, yeah. And there can be so many things going on, right? And assumptions kill
Uh,
in an investigation. So,
yeah,
uh,
like Reacher says. Yeah.
yeah, there should be a new episode today, I think. But anyway, so
Okay.
I always start with having the conversation. What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's important. The conversation I believe, is two-pronged. One is to understand why is it the workplace? Is it the technology? Is it a coworker? And the second part is the person's family. And this happened, family situation. This happened to one of my guys recently, where I actually just saw his hours, and he had like taken time off in January. And then when I spoke, and he contacted me, he said he needs to work from Germany remotely and all that stuff. And then I was like, oh, okay, something is going on. So I contacted his manager, and I understood that he's having family issues. So instead of going forward and say, well, what's going on? Why this? Now I'm more sympathetic. So two things that I'm focusing on. One, how do we support him through his tough time, because he's a good member of the team. Two, I contacted my program manager and I said, please have an eye on it with the customer, because we still need to make sure that the work continues. We still deliver with value. So sort of protect him. This is when I think you mentioned it's situational, right? I think there are different remedies for this.
Yeah,
Conversation is
exactly.
first. Dig
Exactly. When
deep,
you start with the
understand.
conversation, you understand what's going on. And like you said, it might be because work is just part of our life. So it might be that there's something going on in their personal life and this is distracting them. So,
Mm,
absolutely, in this case,
yeah.
like you said, these are people who have contributed so much to your team, to the company. Of
Hmm.
course, you take care. Of course, you support them in any way you can. And this is one
Yeah.
one option, right? Then there is another possibility, like when you talk with this person, you might find out that they've outgrown your team, that they've outgrown
Mm.
this position they are in,
Yep.
they have outgrown even your company, maybe, and that's okay, right? These things happen. We At some point we all need to move on. So This is another possibility where a conversation, an open and honest conversation with the person can help you understand this and reach an agreement where, okay, if they have outgrown the team and the company, maybe it's time for them to move on. Maybe it's time for you to let them go so they can use their talents and their skills in the marketplace and contribute in a place where they will belong better now.
I think that's last resort. First, when they've outgrown the position and the technology or their role, I think it's best to have the conversation and ask what they're looking for, and then enable them to maybe grow within the company. A developer becomes a manager, absolutely. Or a manager becomes a seller, or I think it's important because when we hire people and they work with us, there's an investment on both sides that it's not easily thrown away. But I understand that if it's completed, there's nothing available within the company, then you amicably depart and everybody's happy.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right that actually if they've outgrown the position, the role that they have right now, yes, there might be an opportunity for them to be promoted or move to a different team, try something new. And this actually applies also for people who, like, you might have hired someone to do something and they can be a great fit for your culture, great fit for the company. They have skills and talents and knowledge, but they're not really performing the way you expect them to perform, right? So even this case is also a case where you might look into options. If this person is a great fit for the company, if they have amazing talents and skills, maybe, okay, you hire them for marketing, let's say, but they might actually be better suited to be in the admin team in some ways, right? Supporting you, let's say, supporting you as a business owner, as a office assistant or whatever position or something like this, right? Or they might be better positioned to go into sales or something else, right? So this is also like one way is, yeah, people outgrow their positions, so they might want to move within the company, but also when you hire someone, it's possible that they're not in the correct role, that you might want to move them somewhere else, which is a great point. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah. And lastly, which I think this is when everything, you've all options have been exhausted, and becomes the person's attitude. And that is something that my experience, there's nothing you can do except for call it a day. What's your take on that?
Yes and no. So one of the things is, so when we talked about performance at some point, I mentioned that there are three things that make it, right? Skills, knowledge, and attitude. And when you talk with someone and they're not performing well, like, yes, skills and knowledge, you can put them on performance improvement plan, and you can design a plan where they improve their skills, they learn more, and they improve. With the attitude and with skills and knowledge, you might be able to attend a seminar or spend a weekend and learn a new technology. And especially if you're analytical and good at, like, one programming language is the same as the other programming language. Like, they're so similar. So you can quickly fix this in a way, right? But when it comes to attitude, yes, most of the time it is, especially with small businesses, right? With small, medium-sized businesses, most of the time attitude requires a longer investment into changing things. And fortunately, unfortunately, whatever you want to call it, as small, medium-sized businesses, we don't have the time to we don't have the resources to really do this. And with attitude, if it's how they show up for work, if they're always naysayers, always headbutting, like the negative energy, this negative energy that they bring, if this is how they are outside of work as well, like when you go for drinks or dinners, something like this, and you notice that this is how they are outside of work as well. If it's not situational, like you said, if it's something permanent, yes, the best approach would be, I still say try and get them out of this thinking, try and push them to fight for themselves and step up. But most likely your option is to let them go. Now, if it's not how they are outside of work, right? Like if it's situational, just at work, this is how they're showing up, but outside of work, they are a little bit different. Then definitely focus on pushing them to get out of this attitude and mindset at work. Like you said, understand what's going on. Like, is it a coworker, something with a coworker? Is it something with the environment? Maybe their chair is not comfortable, right? Like it can be, you could say it's small thing, but it's possible. It's possible. So, and in the future, we will actually talk about dive into each of these factors, by the way, that influence performance. So that influence how you show up and also everyone else. So you can understand a little bit more about this. But yeah, definitely when it comes to attitude, when it's that negativity and always saying, oh, this is impossible, always start with but. Like you say something and they're always but blah blah blah, like always having excuses and things like this. I agree with Joris what you were saying, that from experience and everything, that you most likely need to get them out as soon as possible, because the bad apple spoils the bunch. Other people will get infected by this in a way.
Yep, agreed. All right.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted, and we went a little bit over time today, but this is an important topic, and I know it's hard for a lot of us to let go of people, to change things. But this is, like, as business owners, this is one of the things that we do. This is part of managing a team, of leading a team, and if you really want to succeed and have a thriving business, helping your people perform and letting go of the ones for whom it's time to move on, it's part of the process. It's part of what we do and how we show up. So, yeah.
All right, everyone. It's time to depart and go back to our daily tasks and productivity. As usual, if you like us, subscribe and like us and share, comment.
Share, yeah, absolutely. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And our channel on YouTube is Plandore, Plandore, where you can watch the videos, catch us live, chat with us during our live. And also for today, as you listen to this one, think about it. Is there someone on your team who's not performing well? And then if there is, take action. Talk with this person, find out what's going on. You now know how to handle at least a few situations that might, the few reasons that might be behind the lack of performance. So, challenge for today. Think about your team. Is there someone you need to talk with and help them get better?
All right.
Okay. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.